In Spanish only.
5,
Spanish.
4,
3,
3,
2,
2.
1. Welcome to Getcha Popcorn Ready podcast. This is your host, Hatch, with my boy.
Yes, sir. This is T.O. We are in the building. Get your popcorn that we
Ready.
don't have ready.
Get your popcorn ready and send it to us so we can eat some popcorn on the show today.
Yeah.
But today we have a special guest in the house. My man, 11-year NBA legend, Cuttino Mobley is in the building, ladies and gentlemen.
AKA Cat is what they call it.
Cat.
Cat.
I call him the wizard now because of the grades.
You know
I
what I'm talking about?
call him
I earned those.
You earned those. I feel you.
Let's start. I want to know, since I said Cat, how did the name Cat come about?
Oh, you guys love this because both being wide receivers in football. So when I was 7 or 8 years old, so I played football as well.
You can remember that far back?
Yeah.
NBA players don't get CTE.
Yeah,
He's good.
Yeah, we cool. We cool. We dodging all that.
Right.
But so when I was about 7 or 8 years old, my football coach, because my name is Cuttino. My football coach is like, me being quick as a cat, the whole thing. He's like, yo, hey, Cat, come here. And I'm like, Cat, my name is Cuttino.
Right,
he said, no. Your name is Cat. You quick as a cat. So he started, naming me that because I was like quick as a cat.
Okay.
So I kept that name, Cat, all through since I was playing, pee-wees in football.
So I guess, of course, every NBA player has their story of I played football until I got hit, and then I stopped playing football with the basketball. So when did you stop playing football?
Yeah, it was till I got hit. No, listen, I was nice. So for me,
was nice. Well, you was nice at 7. I don't know if 7 is nice.
No, I played all into high school, sophomore years. I quit because I broke my collarbone.
Okay.
I'm rolling out, I break my collarbone.
Okay.
DN come from the opposite side.
Playing quarterback.
Oh, okay. I break my collarbone, right? Boom, breaks the collarbone. And that time, I was a sophomore. That time, I fell in love with basketball.
Okay.
I picked up a basketball at 13. So I was playing varsity football, but I was freshman basketball. And it was literally freshman team. JV team, varsity team. So as a freshman, I'm on the freshman basketball team and didn't play not one game until the end of the season.
Wow.
But I'm playing varsity football.
Because you nice. Okay. All right.
So I said, you know what? I love this sport. And I couldn't gain no weight. And these boys they was trying to kill you.
You were like Kevin Durant, couldn't gain no weight?
Yeah. I wasn't that small.
You said you couldn't gain no weight.
No, but I'm saying for everybody else, I was so tall. So at that time, it just wasn't packing on. I was strong, but I just wasn't, thicker. Right. And my favorite player back then was Randall Cunningham.
I
wanted to be Randall Cunningham.
Cash Cunningham.
My number was 12 because of that in basketball, because of Randall Cunningham. So I love Randall. So, that was boxing first and then football and then basketball was my last sport.
Okay. So what made you, again, when you're starting to see how good you are in basketball, right? 13, 14, 15, when you're starting to figure out, I can probably make a career out of this. Do I want to go to the NBA at that point? Like, how did that come about?
Okay, so, it's funny because shout out to Rasheed Wallace, Alvin Williams, Eddie Jones, Aaron McKee, all those guys. That's who I grew up around. They're all my closest friends growing up. So Malcolm Gladwell, the author, he had a book called Outliers.
Yeah, Outliers,
And he speaks about the 10,000 hour theory, and he speaks about like your surroundings. So for me, in Philadelphia, it was Kobe Bryant, it was Rasheed Wallace, Alvin Williams, Jason Lawson. It was Aaron McKee, Eddie Jones, Rick Brunson. It was so many of them that was out there. And they were playing since they was younger. So when I got thrown into the fire at like 14, 15 years old in the Sunny Hill League, the competition was crazy. I was still new. So I'm sitting like, oh man, I got to catch up, right? So I had to really start listening and thinking, instead of I was like watching from a distance. And then Alvin and Rosh and all the Kobe, they practiced so much.
Hours upon
hours. So I had to,
catch up.
I had to figure it out, right? I'm trying to mimic everything that they were doing. Right. So I said to myself, no one thought they were going pro. But maybe Kobe, right? Because his father played pro. Right. And then Rosh thought it a little bit because he was number one in the country since he was like probably 2. He was number 1 in the country all the way up, right?
Right.
So all of us thought back then, you got to think about it. All of us thought back then, I just want to go D1.
Yeah.
You wasn't thinking
That was
pro. You was thinking like, I just want to go Division 1. Right. I want to play on TV.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So not like kids today. Every kid today think they're going to the pros, right? That's how they think.
And it's the same
all
percentage.
Of them. Back then it was like, I want to play on ESPN. I want to play with a school where they're gonna, have games on TV.
March Madness.
Yes, you looked at that.
Right.
So I didn't start thinking about going to the pros, bro, until like, I want to say like 19.
Wow.
19 years
Rhode
old.
Island already.
Because I started playing with pros.
Right. So when you think of TV games, I'm thinking Michigan.
Yeah.
I'm thinking all the
UConn,
Big Ten,
Syracuse,
yes.
Georgetown.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. Especially back then, them schools.
Right, that's what I'm saying. How and why Rhode Island?
Okay. So we went to, I went to Maine Central Institute, MCI. It was number 1 in the country.
Wow.
I was scared, okay? Because it had kids from everywhere.
Yeah.
And they were more polished than I was. I wound up going there. Max Good, I love you so much, coach. Sam Cassell went there. Karan Butler went there. It's like a lot of us that went there.
Man. Wow.
So we were top in the country.
Ballers.
The team I played on, I didn't know if I was going to start or not. Because I'm 5 years prior to that, I just picked up a basketball. So I don't know what's going on. I don't really know what's going on. Yeah. We playing number 1, we playing number 2s, number 3s, colleges. We playing all those guys. And we're way up in Maine. So my boy that I was with, Sean Colson, shout out to Sean Colson from North Philadelphia, he was like, yo, listen, while we're there, we're playing, and Rick Pitino, John Thompson, you name the coach, they was there watching us all the time. So I don't really know how serious it is like they do, because they've been playing basketball since they were like 6 or 7. I just started.
You just getting your feet wet.
Right, so I don't really know, like, I wasn't nervous.
You didn't
when
know
I was
enough
performing.
to be nervous.
Right, I was just doing what I do. From boxing and playing football, I was just trying to just do my best.
Right. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Right. So I think that showed the coaches, like, hey, he's raw, this kid, he really don't know what he's doing, but he's willing to learn, like those things. Man, when I tell you, it got real, okay? It got real. To the point where I came back from prep school. When I came back from prep school, I'm playing, the college summer leagues, and I'm killing. So then I'm like, okay. So Sean was like, yo, you got Kentucky, you got this school, you got UCLA. You can go to these different schools. And Sean, my boy Sean Colson, was like, yo, well, let's go to in Atlantic 10, you still get to play Temple, you still get to play,
play against those.
Yeah, they was ranked in the country.
Yeah.
It's like, how about let's be big fish in a little pond opposed to little fish in a big pond, right? Yeah. So I'm like, yeah, I like that one. Let's make this happen.
Right.
So we chose because we both from North Philadelphia, we chose Rhode Island.
Okay.
Wow. So that's how I chose Rhode Island, because I really didn't know.
Okay.
I was following my boys.
So let's take that to a real life scenario now, because we talk about this Jordan thing and the Kobe and LeBron thing, right? As players, as veteran guys, we don't like that LeBron teams up with another superstar and goes and tries to make a championship. Super team. So what you're saying, you're gonna go.
Y'all not gonna like my answer with this one.
No, because that's what we're saying. I don't like that he chooses that route. I want you to choose the harder route and play against somebody who's better, because that's gonna bring out the betterment in you. Right. That's what you did at Rhode Island.
It's not a matter of us liking or disliking what you're about to say. We're trying to gain some knowledge on somebody that has played the game and see it from a different perspective and lens, and sharing that knowledge with our viewers.
Because that's what Rhode Island going to play Temple at the time. Temple's the big dog. You guys are here, and you're like, I want that fight. Yeah. To me, LeBron don't want that fight.
You sure?
That's what it looks like for you. For me, if I'm on a playground when I'm 12, if I'm on a playground, I'd rather take me and the guys who can't play and play against the best team. That's my mentality. Okay. Right?
And you don't think that he's that guy?
I don't think. Jordan would never go team up with Barkley. Jordan would never go team up with
I totally disagree. So let me know when you want my opinion.
And I think what he's saying, Kobe wouldn't take
Kobe's definitely not going to team.
Just let me know when you want to take my opinion.
Okay.
That's all. Just let me know.
I don't know if I want it now.
So Kobe, rest in peace. I love you, Bean. I love you, boy. if you look back, Kobe was about to leave the Lakers.
I was just about to say that.
Because
but was that before? But was that a tactic? Was that a tactic to get
To
what
really
he
stay.
to get really what he wanted, or did you really think that he was about to possibly bolt?
We don't know.
Right, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
But what I do know is that he did threaten. You know that. Do you know that?
There was
Yeah,
a threat, but it never transpired. It never happened. But again, like I said,
Speculation.
right. But you know how Kobe is mental. You know what I mean? So again, he put them at odds. You know what I mean? He put their back against the wall.
So, okay. Now, the Kobe thing, I like what you just said.
Okay.
We can't prove it because he stayed.
Right.
Okay.
Exactly.
What Pip do?
What left?
Okay.
Right.
Went to the Rockets.
Right.
Okay. He threatened just like Kobe did.
Yes.
Mike too. Hello?
Yeah, Mike did.
Don't hang up. Mike did also, and he went to the Washington Wizards.
But
that was
the Wizards
Can I talk
doesn't
to y'all?
count.
You should have stayed with Chicago
But
then.
he couldn't because
Why-
he was
why couldn't?
55 years old at
No,
the
don't do
time.
that.
His run.
Don't do that.
The run was
We're not
over.
gonna do this.
I'm not going to agree
We're
with
not
that.
gonna do this.
I just think the ownership was on a total different
Ownership level at that
I'm
point.
not disagreeing with
Okay.
you. I'm just speaking ownership.
I'm
Jerry
disagreeing.
Krause, that was stupid
To break up the squad.
to break up. You got the greatest player of all time.
Right. So now
and
let's
you
get
don't
back.
wanna
Now
pay him?
let's get back because I don't want y'all to throw off what y'all was saying
Okay.
before.
Okay, go ahead.
Get back to what Kobe did.
Right.
Okay.
If they did not meet he was going to leave.
His knees or his
because
demands.
his
knees were not-
you're getting your butt beat up. You're getting your butt beat up.
Right. True.
LeBron James, no disrespect to the team he had. LeBron James in his fourth year, and if you can sit here and tell me that take LeBron James off of that team and put Kobe Bryant on that team, that they go to the finals. Take LeBron James off of that team and put a young Michael Jordan on that team and they go to the finals, not the playoffs, the finals. Because in 2007, LeBron James took that team to the finals. That same year, he smashed the best defensive team in the league, which is Detroit Pistons, had 24 in the fourth on Rasheed Wallace, on Chauncey Billups, on Ben Wallace, on all of them. Hello?
Rip
hang up.
I was there. I already know because my boy D. Jones was on there.
Yes.
D. Jones was on there.
Sound like you think LeBron's a better player than Michael Jordan. That's what you sound like right now.
Can I say something?
I don't even
Just
know
let
if
me know
I
when
wanna-
I
I
can
don't
say
even know if
something.
I...
Okay.
Just let me know when I can say something.
I'm
Go
gonna be
ahead.
the mediator here. That's what he said. It sounds that way. I'm going to give you an opportunity to rebuttal. I don't know if it sounds that way, but I'm going to give you an opportunity
Okay,
to speak.
let me just talk to y'all.
Yeah.
This ain't tennis singles. This is not golf. This is not boxing. This is a team sport.
Okay.
So in a team sport, LeBron James can take 4 dudes from Home Depot and go to the playoffs, maybe the finals.
Okay.
There's nobody else that can do that.
Okay.
LeBron James, Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, LeBron James. Out of the 3 of them coming into the league, was he known as a scorer?
Who, LeBron?
Yeah.
No.
Okay, past them. 40,000 points, 10,000 rebounds, 10,000 assists.
Because he's
The
played
game
30
is-
years.
I would
He
say
playing what? No, he did this. He did this in
did
15
what year?
years. He broke both of them in 15 years.
Okay.
Kobe played 20 years. Don't you do this?
Just because he's
LeBron's about to play his 20.
I want to go back to the thing that you just said. Was he known as a scorer? Just because he's not known as a scorer, that doesn't mean he can't
Not gonna
score.
score.
Because I would automatically assume with the ability and the athletic ability and the prowess that he has, I would assume that he's a scorer. That may
He's
not
just
be,
smart. He's
Yeah,
just
that's
smart.
not. It may not be his forte, but I'm gonna say he's a scorer just off.
Right, but that's not the question I posed. I said out of the 3 of them,
Yes. LeBron was not a scorer coming
he's the worst scorer out of the 3 of them, but he surpassed them in 15 years.
because the game's different. There's a bunch.
You know what?
Who said-
You know what's funny?
No, but
Every
who
time
said-
I come up with something, everybody got an excuse. More excuses.
no.
This is crazy. You got more excuses than Carter got liver pills. This is the craziest thing in the
But
world.
who said Kobe was a scorer? He wasn't known as a
He
scorer.
was known as a scorer, T.
No,
Don't
what are you
do
talking
this,
about?
man.
He was an athletic phenom out of high school.
Don't you do this. I'm going to run off this set. Don't you do
No one makes
do that.
Hey,
Cat,
Cat.
you know he was. He was an athlete. He's just like LeBron. He was athletic. He could score.
See how you massaging what I said?
No, I'm not.
I said out of the three of them.
Okay.
I get what you're saying.
Out of the three of them,
I'm
LeBron James,
disappointed
three
in
of
you,
them.
though.
Everybody in the world knows. Out of the three of them,
Okay.
He
probably
was the worst.
The
scorer.
least. The least.
Okay.
I
and
got
in 15
you. I'm
years,
following you.
he beat both of them.
Okay. Okay.
15 years. Now don't go 19.
And you-
15.
So give me your top three of those three.
I'm gonna give you the
1, 2, and 3 in your order.
LeBron first.
I'm about to leave.
Yeah,
out.
we're gonna leave off.
Dude, you
set.
Listen,
I'm disappointed.
Man,
I'm
pull his
so
car up
disappointed.
now. Pull his car up now, because I'm sick of him already.
Dog,
I'm sick of him.
Dude, I'm disappointed.
Why?
You just gonna leapfrog him over? I don't regardless of the numbers, because of the longevity and because of the I'm not saying that LeBron is not the most athletic person that has graced the NBA court.
Right now, my best wide receiver right now is you, then Jerry. When I was a little boy, guess what? Oh, it's Jerry. Knowing the game is T before Jerry, to me.
Okay. Right.
So I'm telling you, for me,
Yes.
you're not gonna change my opinion.
That's respect.
Or something
That's
for me.
respect.
That's
I
me.
appreciate that. That's respect.
Because I know the game.
Gotcha. I feel you.
This ain't feelings. Take your emotions out of it.
I'm not an emotional
the cry
being like
Mike,
that.
The be like Mike, and the come fly with me,
Beautiful,
and all that.
all that.
See, when we was younger, psychologically, what it is, the emotions get to you. So the house is bigger when you're a little boy. Then we get there, and the house is small. Yeah. I can't believe I was in there.
Everything's
the car is
small.
smaller.
Right.
That's what you feel.
What changed your
We need to unpack
perspective
all
on
this.
that type of outlook, though?
What
changed your perspective on that type of outlook? Your career, after your career? Because you didn't see, like you said, you didn't know this at 15.
Right.
You might not have knew it at 21 or 25. So did you know it like after you got out the NBA?
Know what? Like
Like your perspective on seeing the whole big picture of LeBron.
This is the development of life.
Just the journey.
Yeah, the development of life. That's just how it is. Like if I don't love teams because I understand organizations.
Yes, that
I love players.
Yes,
So if the players stay consistent, Tom Brady,
Right, I got you.
Terrell Owens, if you stay consistent, I'm loving that because I know what's behind the back office. It could be anything. It could be your life for the wife, the girlfriend, the kids, the this, the that, whatever, that affects you, and you still keep going. So for me, okay, I'm looking at LeBron James and how he gets everybody involved. Okay. How LeBron James make everybody amazing.
No, absolutely.
Hey,
So LeBron, it's LeBron?
Yes.
Your other two. So it's LeBron, Mike, and Kobe?
He said there is no other two. He's like, it's LeBron.
No, what you mean?
My top, I said
top
name
three.
your top three.
LeBron.
Okay, LeBron.
Kobe, Mike.
So
It could be Mike Kobe or Kobe Mike.
Did you ever play against Mike?
Yeah, but he was 40, 39, 40.
Right.
I still, listen, Mike was my GOAT growing up.
Right.
The GOAT is LeBron to me.
Okay. I got you. That's
That's
respect.
just-
I respect that. I respect that.
I love Mike.
I'm so mad at
Mike is the emotions when I was a little kid.
It's my emotions.
It was Mike.
Yeah. My emotions is upset at Cat right now.
You know what I'm saying? We can talk about that another time, maybe, but at the end of the day,
I got you.
You grew up on Mike. You grew up on Mike.
absolutely.
We
Yeah,
all grew
Mike.
up on Mike. You cannot get that out of your head.
Can't. You're right.
But at the end of the day, now we're older, we are all professionals. So you be like, nah. You're going on your emotion of what you saw when you was a kid. Come fly with me too, Mike, Barcelona, 92, game
Jordan
winners,
shoes,
the whole thing, the
yeah.
shoes, the ball head, the Ferrari,
Everything.
the motorcycles.
The shorts,
We're looking at all that. The
all
shorts,
that.
swag,
The,
Mike was
the knee-
ring,
the knee sleeve.
the gold chain, he's playing with gold chains
gold
on.
chain.
Come on.
Right.
We
Dunk
know that, Mike.
contest, yeah.
That's our guy.
Yeah.
He's our GOAT. But the GOAT, as far as the game, LeBron James. It's you can forget about it. Okay, how about this one? Ooh, I got something for you. How about this one? This y'all podcast. But let me just ask you this.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Ask away.
Do you want to both play basketball?
Well, you know I can play basketball.
Yeah, okay.
You know, Cat knows I can play basketball too, but go ahead.
Let's pivot a little bit because we don't want him to.
Right. Yeah, that's right. You know I can play basketball.
So look, I'm going to say this. Right. Do you want to play with Mike or do you want to play with LeBron? Because see,
As a player, you're saying I get passes, I get.
You want to be
long as
involved. You want to be. I get what
What'd you say?
I know where you're
What'd
going.
you say? What'd you say?
You want to be
Just
involved.
let everybody else know.
Huh?
What'd you say? You want to be what?
You want to be involved.
Okay, so you want to play. You can watch the other one.
No,
But you want to play with this one.
I totally get where you're going.
Okay.
And I understand that logic. I understand that logic. Not a lot of people would. So I'm sure, like I said, him saying that, he's disappointed. And like I said, I think MJ's
I mean,
the
people
great.
get disappointed. You
No,
know
I
what I'm
get it.
saying?
I get
It's
it.
okay. You can be disappointed
I
in life.
get it.
That's
I
okay.
get disappointed sometimes when I like a TV show and the second season don't come. It's okay.
I get it. I
okay.
feel you. I'm the same way about Ozark. I'm disappointed at the
Yeah,
way at the
you know
way
what I'm saying?
at the way it ended. I'm
crazy.
really disappointed.
Don't tell me because I'm not.
The director. I'm really mad at you
Yeah,
right now.
we
that you
pissed
just
off.
cold. Have you seen Ozark?
I'm not an Ozark
Jason
fan,
Bateman
but
is
I've
my
heard.
guy.
When you
heard.
start it, you're gonna be very disappointed when it ends.
It is.
Yeah. Okay. So let's start with this. Drafted second round, 1998, Houston Rockets. You just talked about the little kid. You know, now you're seeing the Rasheed. You didn't know any of that. You're just being a kid. You just want to play basketball. You get drafted, Houston Rockets. Give us. You know, we've already talked prior to us getting on the air about what happens before the game and after the game. Now you're immersed into this is what you've always wanted, NBA. Take us a little bit of what that's like. You get drafted, your journey starting with Houston.
Okay, so I'm gonna tell you how crazy manifestation is. I used to carry a wallet. In my wallet, card was Scottie Pippin.
Younger you.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, college.
Okay.
Scottie Pippin and Eddie Jones. So Eddie Jones was my guy because he played
Eddie.
for Temple.
Eddie
So I wanted to play like Eddie. I wanted to be like Scottie and Eddie because I thought they just did everything, right? It just makes the team that much better.
Right.
Fast forward, Eddie Jones and I are like this now. He giving me sneakers while he's in the pros, and he was in college. He was giving me sneakers, the whole thing. I'm watching
The first NIL ever, right here.
You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about? So, and then guess what? God is so amazing to the point where, as long as you can think it, it can become.
Absolutely.
98 gets drafted. First round, no first round. I'm worried. I'm walking down the street, the whole thing. I'm coming back to the house. All the family's at the house, the whole thing. Commercial. I come back inside the crib. Everybody watching it and everything like that. And they say, oh yeah, we know with this, during the break, the Houston Rockets selected 41st pick, Cuttino Mobley. We go crazy.
Wow.
Go crazy.
Wow. The moment.
Phone call was Rudy Tomjanovich, Scottie Pippin. I didn't even poop my pants. I could not believe
Scottie Pippen's on the phone.
I could not believe this.
Oh.
I couldn't believe it. And to this day, I always say I'm so lucky because the more I think things, the more they become. But it was so surreal. And for years, I didn't really grasp, but I'm in the pros. For years, so that made me work harder.
So for our audience to grab some context, you're saying Rudy, and then you talk to Scottie Pippen. Everybody's gonna well, Scottie's with the Bulls.
No,
not at the time.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Not at the time. Yep.
Yeah, he had gotten traded
to the Houston
to the
Rockets.
Houston Rockets. So
Right.
he's at the end of his career.
Right.
And now Scottie Pippen's, he gives you this call, you about to poop your pants. Now what?
poop my pants.
You go to CVS, you get you some diapers.
Yeah.
And again, second round picks
Depends.
usually don't get calls from future Hall of Famers neither. So that you're a pretty special second round pick.
So crazy, right? So I get to Houston, and he was everything I thought of. He kept me with them every single day, early in the morning, teaching me moves, post-ups, how to play defense, how to shrink the court. He gave me and then Michael would come. Michael would come because he wasn't playing that year. So he would come hang with Scottie. So now I'm with Michael, Scottie, Charles Barkley, and Akeem Olajuwon.
Wow.
They on the plane,
Talking about knowledge.
they playing cards and whatever it is over there. And I'm just sitting here soaking up I cannot believe
Basketball
I am
heaven.
sitting here right now.
It's basketball heaven.
At 22, 23 years old. It was the top, Michael, Scottie, Charles, Akeem.
Yeah.
That's 4 of the top 50.
Yeah.
At that time. Now it's 75. 4 of the top 50.
Yeah.
And the best in their position.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And 4 different
Maybe
positions.
1 and 2, every single one of them.
Yes.
At the time, you had a 2, you had a 3, you had a 4,
4.
you had a 5. All of them the best. Think about what I just said.
No, the
And
best.
I'm sitting there
Soaking it
with
up.
them. That was now. Dream was sitting over here practicing the Muslim and all that stuff, and then they was over here.
Right,
They was
right.
over, they was
The
over here
card
chilling,
table.
playing cards.
right.
But just to be around them for me, I was so. And I used to cry. I used to happy cry.
Yeah.
And then it was I was so nervous I thought seriously, I used to think that if I go to sleep and wake up, my superpowers will be gone. I felt like that, man. I was so humble and modest. Like it wasn't like, oh, I should be here. It was like, it's such a privilege of me being with these guys that I'm gonna do everything I can. I'm gonna try to squeeze everything I can.
Be a sponge, absorb
you know
everything.
what I mean? So that's for me was amazing, man.
And again,
So now you're with Houston. Steve Francis.
Also with
My guy.
Houston.
Yeah,
that's
your
man.
guy.
My guy.
You guys become like one of the best backcourts. You know, when you start talking, teams and eras, you talk about, two guys that are very dynamic. What made you guys so special, and what does it take for two guys like yourselves to become and consider like two of the best backcourts? You know what I mean? Because I'm watching TV, and I watch a lot of basketball, and you start to hear some of these announcers, commentators talk about, okay, these two are some of the best backcourts, or they're the best two backcourts in the game today. What makes individuals like you and Steve become two of the best backcourts?
Well, you know what's so crazy, man? Shout out to Fat Joe. And the reason why I say shout out to Fat Joe is because Joe said, okay, so Joe would hang with Macho and Khaled would be with him, but Khaled no one knew. This is back in the early 2000s.
Early DJ Khaled.
So Khaled was in the background.
Okay.
And then it's swapped. Khaled is the guy, and then Joe's. And Joe said something super interesting. Joe said, I know how to be number two. And I think as brothers, sometimes you gonna catch 10,
Yeah.
and then you may do 5.
Yeah.
Right.
So for me, it was like, Steve is so electrifying, and then I was piggybacking off of his energy, and then he would tell me he piggybacking off of what I do. But at the end of the day, I wanted him so comfortable because I grew up with the Rasheed Wallace, the Alvin Williams, the Kobe Bryant's. Their names was already bigger because I didn't play basketball.
Right.
So I knew how to be a number two anyway.
Yeah, you knew
Can
how
I
to
score
be in the
30?
back.
I can score 30.
But I still know.
But that's not what we need.
Yes.
We need him to go off, and
Yes.
then I'll follow up.
Yes.
I got his back.
Gotcha.
So if you want to call me Robin, cool, I don't care. As long as I'm in the show.
Right,
I'm all good.
Right.
And I think that's for me and for Steve and I. And then his mom passed away at, I think she was like, he was 12 years old at the time. And my mom took Steve in. So she was cooking for us, and we hung together. And, I was big bro, you know what I'm saying? So
that's where the friendship and the bond began.
But think about it. When think about it. When you play in a sport, it's easier for me to cuss you out while we're playing in a heated moment if we hang together off the floor.
Yes.
Right.
Because he knows my temperament.
Versus not, and it's going to come out
You
of
can't
left
talk to
field,
me like that. I don't even know you like that.
Right,
I don't know where it's coming from.
Right.
So we would literally movies, clubs, family, eating, chilling out. Like we would always be together because that's where the communication is when you get on the court. Because emotionally,
The non-verbal communication.
Exactly. So I think that's what it was.
That's what
I had no problem being number two.
No, being that you said that, I like that you brought that to my attention, because when me and Donovan went sideways, when he was in the huddle and he told me shut the fuck up,
Yeah.
You didn't know how to receive it.
Yeah, we didn't know each other like that.
Right.
So I'm like, yo, bro, what are you doing?
Right. We don't do that.
Right. And I didn't
That's not
address
me and you.
Right. And I didn't address it in the huddle because at that time I already knew the perception, okay, if I go off or I do something, it's gonna be my fault.
Right.
So I addressed it after the game.
Right.
But I'm glad you said something that because that's where it went for me. I'm like, bro, we don't know each other like that for you to talk to me that way.
Right.
You're not gonna talk down on me.
Right.
So again, as I was alluding to, so that's where that special bond began. I don't think a lot of people, I didn't even know that. Because again, when you talk about chemistry and the rapport about two individuals on the court, and like, okay, you're like, how do they just gel and mesh? Yeah, there's practice, this and that, and the other. As a professional, that's what you do. But when you get on the court and you see it and it's seamless, you're like, man, like they gelling together. So that's where all that started from.
I think you have to spend time with each other because at the end of the day, it's so emotional, right?
Yeah.
You can be up 20, down 20. He can only target you 5 times, but you're like, damn, I'm open. It's like you probably got somebody on the deep end, somebody double coverage, and he don't want to turn it over. It's just like if Steve, like, yo, Cat, they doubling you on the back. I can't give it to you. I got to give it to him.
Right.
Just work around it. So I'm like, all right, because I trust you now.
No,
I
yes,
see what you're talking
trust,
about.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Maybe it's not that day for me, right? And then vice versa, right? Then why you throw the oop? Because that dude, he'll take your ladies out. I'm not going there. I'm going to go this route.
Right.
Maybe let's get him next time. So we knew how to communicate with each other. Right. And then off the court, we probably be fighting and messing around because we're competitive. Right. But on the court, we had each other's back.
Yeah, and that's one of the ingredients. Obviously, when you think about championships, and you do interviews, and you hear some of these guys talk about championship, is because of the chemistry, the camaraderie. You know what I mean, that they have, and that's why a lot of these guys, like, you start seeing, you know, teams, because they hear like, oh, these teams won championships, and they're like, well, what made them so special? Not just the X's and O's, it's the behind the scenes. It's like they're going to the dinners, enjoying each other's families, you know, playing with each other's kids.
Mike and Scottie stayed together.
Right.
Like Kobe, Derek Fisher, Lamar, Pau Gasol. Pau Gasol is Kobe Bryant's girl's godfather.
Right.
That's how
exactly.
Think about it.
That's how close it was.
So when I see like the big free agent signings, especially NFL and NBA, that doesn't mean anything because it comes down to that locker room.
Right.
If you got a good locker room and the team of guys is like backing each other, hence the Patriots for that long
How about this
run.
one? LeBron, Dwayne Wade, and Bosh was the guy.
Yeah.
That first year, Dwayne Wade was scoring the most.
Right.
And then Dwayne, because they hung together so much, LeBron called Dwayne when he was in the finals. Dwayne won in 06, LeBron got there in 07. He called Dwayne for advice. He called Dwayne for advice. Okay? Better player, but call him for advice.
Right.
So now check this out. That first year, Dwayne was taking over and scoring. Then he said after that, he's like, yo, listen, this your team. You in Miami, but this yours.
Right.
So I need you to be who you are, and then I'll follow suit. That's because they hung together.
Right.
They're family. They're brothers.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's no jealousy. It's you win, I win. We gonna win together.
And I think it's essentially what you mentioned too. Like he understood, like I don't have a problem being number two. There may be times like, I may have to assert myself. Like, when LeBron is doing his thing, he gets taxed or whatever, like he takes over or what have you. So that's part of that ingredient of, okay, let me be humble enough. Let me realize the bigger picture.
Yes.
Let me take the back seat. Just like what you were saying with you and a franchise. Like, sometimes like, I need to do this, you need to do this, but depending on how the game flows, it's gonna work itself out.
Sometimes you gotta take the back seat to me. It's okay. It's okay.
I'm okay with being number two.
I'm okay with being, but sometimes you gotta be number two, Robin. All right,
cool.
I can be Batman. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean?
We got you a couple episodes where you shine.
Wow, this guy.
Just a couple.
This guy.
A couple episodes
2 out of 100.
while we shine. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, it's the bigger picture. So now, let's transition. And I know you personally, like I said, when the first time did we meet?
You know what? First time me and Cap met was at a photo shoot. We shot a photo shoot in New York. Me, you, DeBrat, and Ray Buchanan.
That's
shot a
so
photo
crazy.
shoot, I think, for Source magazine.
Yes, Joe, bro, that's so
where we
crazy.
met. That's hilarious.
I need that
when you
magazine.
said that, I just
My kids don't think I'm cool. I need that magazine. There's so many commercials and stuff I did.
I'm
when
thinking
we
it's
met.
either when you were in Houston, I'm not for sure, and I knew Sam Cassell and them, they had that We Are One, they had a little softball thing. That may have been it.
It was Houston.
Or it was when you was here with the Clippers.
No, it was Houston.
It was Houston?
Yeah, it was
okay,
Houston.
And then I saw you again, obviously, our guy, Jason Powell, who's the head trainer for the Clippers.
Yeah.
People don't know, I used to go and play one-on-one with those guys when they were at the Spectrum Club.
Yeah.
In Manhattan Beach when they was
we became closer then.
Yeah.
First it was in Houston, We Are One.
Yeah.
Then it was Jason and him was super tight.
Yeah.
Okay. As we came around more.
Okay, you was in there getting your head knocked in, huh?
Hey, I was playing basketball. I was in there playing knockout with some of the
all
guys.
right.
Corey McGetty, all those guys.
Okay.
Yeah, I like that.
I know he can play a little bit. He's more of a little bit. He don't pass the ball.
You know what? I'm gonna take that because now that I've had some real basketball to come in here and really,
I'm gonna go back to your philosophy.
let people know what it is.
No, he can hoop.
Okay. Have you played with me?
Yeah. I said he can hoop.
No. Stop. You stop right now. Like you said, is anybody there or pick up whatever the heck you said earlier?
I don't want to get too much.
This is really detailed. You said
go.
Kobe, you said LeBron or Jordan, which one you want to play with? Because Jordan's not going to pass the ball. So you want to play with
them.
You want to play with me or T? Because T's not going to pass the ball.
No, I'm going to play with T.
Okay, you just call me trash? You just call me trash?
No, that's not what I called you.
No,
That's
you just called me. That's what you
Your
said.
subconscious called you that.
Right.
I did. I had
You
nothing to do
said
with
that. You said
That
that.
was nothing.
Am I a better shooter than T? Am
just
I a
said-
better shooter than
That's why I
T?
say let's move on.
Am I a better shooter than T?
No, but you're not really reading what I'm saying. I just said let's move on because you just keep you glutton for punishment. You just want that. Just let that go.
I'm gonna let it go.
Sometimes you're a number 2. Sometimes you're number 2. Right?
Sometimes I feel.
It's just what it is.
Yeah.
No,
So let's
again. I know you got. Let's move on to the big 3 then. Since you're done with the NBA stuff,
Yeah.
of course. Now, right now, again, you retired because of the heart situation, right?
Misdiagnosis.
Now, there's a misdiagnosis,
Yep.
but
Right.
So after you found out, I can play again. Was it? I want to go. It was too late to go back to the NBA, or was it just like it was the time had passed, so it was only big 3?
Or was it
option?
politics?
Politics.
He glossed around.
Yeah, it was politics. It was politics big time. So what happened was at that time, 2008, they was fast forwarding to 2010, which was the big free agency year. LeBron, Dwayne, Amari Stoudemire, Chris Bosh. It was the biggest free agency ever of those guys. The Knicks was getting stuff off the books because they wanted 3 stars because everybody had stars, 3 stars or whatever. And I was one of those casualties of war kind of thing, right? So at the end of the day, it's just my opinion. At the end of the day, I was playing with this type of diagnosis, which turned out to be hypertension, which a lot of black people have. And it's a pill, right? It's your
blood pressure.
Blood pressure, okay? Whatever the case was, fast forward, I waited a year because you couldn't play. I couldn't play no basketball.
you
couldn't
were
be in the
out
gym.
completely
They
out.
wouldn't
You
let
couldn't
me
do nothing.
They wouldn't
You
let me do
couldn't do
not one
nothing.
thing. And I was a little depressed, right? Because this basketball is my therapy.
Took it away
right?
from you,
Yeah, it
right?
took it away from me. So this is 2008. And the last game I played against was Kevin Durant and them at OKC. 27 points, 7 steals. It was just a crazy thing. And that's when I was with the Clippers, and it was Baron Davis, myself, it was Blake Griffin. I was going to start playing with them. And that's when I was going to, it was going to be crazy. So anyway, they stripped it from me. So by the time I found out it's a misdiagnosis, a year and a half later, I tried to come back. So the Dallas Mavericks were going to try to sign me. That year they won, they were going to try to sign me. And Deshaun Stevenson, I think they got him instead, or whatever, because it was taking so long for the league to clear me. They
Yeah,
wouldn't
that was
let me
around
play
2011, I think.
Yeah, they wouldn't let me play in the
Yep.
D League, whatever you call it. They wouldn't let me play in that. Donnie Nelson was trying his best. Then I go up to Boston. I kill in Boston. And Reed, Paul, all of us, I kill. So Danny Ainge was looking at me like, Cat, why are you not playing?
Right.
So I told him, he's like, wow, that's crazy, right? So, I was a little pissed off at the time because I thought I had a lot more to go in the league. And yeah, so, I mean, that for me, I kept working out, kept playing.
Coming up to Calabasas rec with us, right?
You know what I'm saying? I just
love
love to play. That's just me. I love playing. And so it just so happened that we pivot to Big 3. Cube started this concept, and he's like, I'm gonna get stars from different teams I used to play, and we're gonna have 8 teams and 2 captains per team. And then Corey Maggette called me and was like, yo, Cat, you want to play on this Big 3? Let's kill it. So first year happened. It was a smash. I mean, it was Jason Williams, White Chocolate, it was Rashard Lewis.
Everybody. They had all the stars. They put all the stars.
It was crazy. I mean, we were filling up NBA arenas.
Right, yeah.
It was really crazy, man. And the first year, the first game was in Brooklyn. Corey Maggette tore his Achilles. So now I'm stuck. Clyde Drexler was my coach. You know what I'm saying? So it was star-studded, Hall of Famers, the whole thing. So I carried the team all the way to the semifinals. We lose. And then that summer, I was like, it was so much fun, 10 game. And that summer, I was like, you know what? If I got Corey Maggette back, we're going to win it next year. I already know. Just give me one person.
Wow.
And Corey came back and we won it in 2018.
Right.
It went from there. But
And you've won it since then as well, right?
no, we actually lost this year in the finals again.
Okay, the finals.
Yeah, so
okay.
yeah, so I'm usually in the finals.
Okay. Oh, yeah, I see that. I
You
see
know what I'm
that. And now the enjoyment of, again, winning an NBA game and a Big 3 game. Like, give me your comparison. Is it the same? Because it's coming from inside. It's not about the
Right,
fan
it's the
base,
joy of the
obviously.
game. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think it's the joy of it. 1, 2 is more NBA. It's like when you're younger, you don't really understand the details of life, right? So you're just doing things just to do them. That's just how it is, right? Like the older I got, the better father I became, right? Just more patience, right? And I think in basketball, just like in football, right? like when you're young and you're running routes, is different than when you're older and running routes because you really understand everything about it.
Yeah, the concept.
Right? You don't have to move as fast.
Yeah.
It's your footwork.
Yeah.
It's the timing.
The details.
You're watching what this guy do. You're seeing how he's leaning more towards this way. So
right,
this,
it's just more
knowledge.
Beautiful. It's the knowledge of the game, and that's a maturation process that we all kind of go through, going from like 15, 16, 17, and then now you're like, okay, 25, nearly 30, 35. Okay, I can still play at an efficient level. Everything's just a little bit more slowed down. You know what I mean? And
it's
you
a
can
matrix.
Exactly. So again, one of the same things I'm going through. Like I know I can probably still play. Not probably, I know I could play. Because like you said, some of those same things that you said on the basketball court, we as receivers, I'm sure like that, we can get on the field and we can dissect things. We know we can read coverages a lot better. I know how to manipulate, guys with my speed, everything. And then like I said, to get back into like the real shape of the game, to play with that endurance, I can't just jump back into it right away. You got to build up to that. So that's why I always say, okay, third down situations, red zone, that's where I will be advantageous. So again, you, like I said, I'm sure you could probably play in the league right now.
Yeah.
And I've seen you play. I know you could. Like I said, minute restrictions or whatever, having the right coach and the team, when to put you in. There's no earthly idea, of what you can do. You know what I mean? Given the opportunity.
So again, and speaking of fatherhood, right? You have a podcast now, right? Tell us about that. How'd that idea come about?
That might be. Just give us a little snippet.
No. You know, it's all good. It's all good. Listen, I'm here for all positive energy. Right. I've always wanted to be a father since I was little. I was blessed to have 4 parents, 2 fathers. I just dropped my father off actually to go back home because my father's birthday is the 23rd, which is on a Friday. My daughter's birthday, who's 9 years old, hi Sam, is on September 17th. So we're all Virgos. Nice. Well, he's actually a Libra Virgo. But, my kids are my life. Everybody knows that, right? So fighting for custody and different things like that, there's no, ill will or anything. I won July 8th of last year. Okay. During that time, before that, being a single dad, there's a lot of, I guess, there's a persona or whatever it is about the man, the male, or whoever it is in life. And I wanted to be able to change it, right? As far as now, dad's point of view is like having fathers on, or even women who support fathers, or giving their story, whatever it is. It's just not a father's podcast. I'm a father, so that's why it's called Dad's Point of View. But at the end of the day, it could be from a female's perspective, right? Like it doesn't really matter. But I want men to be able to have an open space, to be able to talk about who inspired them, what does it feel like being like this, and then dive deep into like who we are as individuals, because we kind of get the second end of the stick, right? We're just there for the check, but everything else is nothing, right? The doctor will talk, it'd be the mom and the dad, the doctor will talk to the mom, look at her, but we're paying, right? Or the dentist or whatever. So for me, being a single dad, I'm talking to the doctor, I'm talking to the dentist, I'm talking to the principal, I'm around the teachers, and I want more fathers and dads to really understand it, like be entrenched.
Yeah, be more involved.
We
want to be more involved. Right. And then like I said, there's this negative connotation around, like I said, you say single mom, single dad, because usually if you say, kids are raised, because mostly in the black community, they're raised by their moms. So as soon as you say single mom, I think the idea is like, okay, obviously the dad is not around, there's a deadbeat dad. Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And that's what you're
right, and that's what you're wanting to change.
Right, exactly. So I mean, again, like I said before, I was blessed to have 4 parents. I'm a single dad, but at the end of the day, I don't discredit any other father or mother, like you do you. But for me, when you're raised by a female, you're gonna have female ways.
Tendencies, yeah, absolutely.
So I think there's more men that need help mentally, physically, emotionally, to be able to navigate through this crazy world, whether it's judges or perceptions or whatever it is that's going on. I feel for you, because me, a person who have money and name and everything like that, I'm still balled up in the corner, scared that the judge is going to let me have my children or not. And I'm a good person. So, there's fathers that are out there that don't know how to prepare themselves for court. Fathers out there that's like the mother's keeping them away and, whatever it is, or vice versa, I don't know. But for me, I want dad's point of view to just come speak about like life. Right. Like it's all good to shoot threes and catch, touchdowns. But at the end of the day, what about you? Let's talk about you, because there's a lot of fathers that are out there and people that are out there that don't get to really voice how much they love or how scared they are, what the anxieties are of life. because a lot of men commit suicide because of these different reasons that they cannot unpack their feelings, because as men we're supposed to be super tough.
Right.
You can be both, right? You can be
Wow.
you know, and I'm telling you guys this right now, my father and I were in the truck and we were leaving. My stepmother passed away in 2019, and I've known her for it's my whole life. And my dad and her were together for 50 years.
Wow.
So for me, you know, we're driving and he just broke down in the car. The second time I ever saw my dad cry.
Wow.
Right? Because now he's getting older, he's more emotional. And I think you can be like that at a young age, but still be a tough man.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean? So just building that up more, man, and have men more express themselves and just to break that mental incarceration of what they think we should be,
Right.
Right.
or what we really are, right?
Yeah.
We're superheroes too.
Right.
So that's what Dad's point of view is.
Yeah, and I like what you mentioned earlier. I'll let you finish your thought, but you said that just being raised by females or raised by women, then obviously, you know, not having a father, then there may be female tendencies. I don't want people to, you know, take that the wrong way, you know, but there are things that moms teach us as we're growing up. If you have a mom and a dad in the household, but if that dad is not there, then there's a void. There's something that a man in that household we're lacking that needs to teach us certain things.
For a fact.
Yeah, the mom is going to teach us certain things like the nurturing, the caring, this and that, and the other. But there, as a male, as a boy in the household growing up, there are certain things that we need that male, our father figure, that male father figure to teach us. And if you don't have that, then where are you going to learn it from?
Right. So think about this. In school, in football and basketball. In school, your English teacher is not your social studies teacher. Your social studies teacher is not your science teacher.
Absolutely.
Your science teacher may not be your gym teacher.
Right.
There's a principal and there's a vice principal. Everybody has their own title. And I'm not saying what you do, but this is what I do.
Yes.
So in football, you have a running back coach, you have a wide receiver coach, you have a head coach, you have a defense coordinator. If you got one person doing every single thing, it's you set up for failure.
Yeah. At somewhere you're going to be deficient.
Yes, in something.
In something.
They have to be.
And and it's rare that you'll have that mom that obviously that's the mom and the dad. You know what I mean? That's able to
Now
do
they
that.
try to be.
Right.
But it's just you're not capable of doing that.
Doing
You're
it.
going to lose something.
Something, absolutely. It's going to be something deficient that kid is going to miss out on or need to know that she can't really actually explain.
Just like for me and my daughter, I've never been a female. So when she started going through her situation, I got to read books.
Like
I got to read my
periods,
sister.
you got to go through the periods and things of that nature.
Like,
Right.
Yeah, that's a
Can I
lot.
say, all right, so
conversation.
my mom and I are in the car. As soon as we get in the car, she's talking. She's asking questions.
Right.
She just talk. My dad and I are in the car. We're not even speaking.
Right.
It's just
the male.
I love silence.
Yeah,
My
silence is
daughter get in the
golden.
car. I mean, and you gotta listen. You gotta listen.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, for real, baby. Oh, that's so crazy. Oh
so
my God.
crazy.
The whole time.
Yeah.
So they just different.
Different
you know what I'm saying?
creatures.
And then
Different
us, we
creatures.
might be. I love silence sometimes. Like
Right.
it's just
I
what
love
it is.
silence.
But growing up and
I'm very
maturing,
comfortable
you understand that.
Right.
And like I said, you've gone through life to where, okay, I know what this is. You know what I mean? You've learned it from your mom and your dad.
Yeah.
Like, okay, yeah. And as you growing up to be a father, like, this is what I need to do. This is what she needs to do.
Right.
I need to listen.
Yeah,
You know what I
you
mean?
need to listen.
Because I'm sure back in your 20 years ago, she get in the car, you're like, what you hush all that for?
Yeah, I ain't trying to hear all that right
Are
now.
you turning
I
the
wouldn't
music
do
on?
that.
You know what I mean? Let's listen to some music.
I said it to her yesterday. She was doing, we were all sitting around by the pool. And my executive Rose and my sister Shauna, my dad and my daughter. My daughter's doing the Legos. And she just talking. And I'm like, God, you just don't feel like being quiet at all. Huh? You just want to, the whole time you just feel like talking. Huh?
Right.
Now this is supposed to be like therapy, the Legos. I got the good music on, everybody doing work, and you just rapping.
That's
No, keep talking. It's cool. Keep talking. We want to hear everything you got to say. And it's just that's just what it is.
Cat the dad.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Cat daddy.
Cat daddy. I love it.
You got dad's point of view. So what's father figure for life? Is that
Well, yeah, so it's a group. So I'm supporting this like this group, Dad Gang, Father's Figure, Wash Dads. There's a lot of different groups that are out there. And my job is just really just to support them. Fathers are important. Fathers Lives Matter.
Gotcha.
I just support a lot of these men because they're bringing positive energy.
So this is
to the
not
world.
you, but this is
this is just another group.
Right, that you're supporting.
Yeah, that I'm supporting.
There's some synchronicity with what you have going on.
For sure.
Now, where can everybody find the podcast and find you on your social media?
So mine is Cuttino's Life, Cuttinos Life. And the podcast will launch soon. We're just doing different guests right now.
And it's called what? Dad's Point of View.
Dad's Point of View.
Man, we appreciate you, man.
My God.
Man, I appreciate the wizard.
Thanks for having me.
There it is.
Get your popcorn ready right here.
See you next week. Peace.